And you have to do it for your class or what?
Yes, I have to do this for my class. Since we've already read the elves and the shoemaker, now we're going to do the W's of the story. And the reason we are doing this W of the story is to increase comprehension. And during this, we practiced fluency and we practiced stopping at the punctuation marks, because that's some of the things that we've had a little bit of difficulty during this time. The first thing that what we tried to do, we were doing some of the open mind portraits, and that was another concept to try to increase comprehension. Remember that? And you had to draw the pictures and put what the character actually thought on the head. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing. So I want you guys to talk to me. What did you think about the story?
I liked it. I thought that it was actually cool. At first, when I was younger, when I first read the story, I thought it was true. But now I know that it's make-believe.
It is a make-believe story.
But it is a good story.
It is a good story. Why do you think it's a good story? Why do you feel it's a good story, Miranda?
Well, because sometimes if it's just normal and it's real, it doesn't have as much excitement to it. So with adding the L's, it makes it more interesting.
Well, that's a good idea. That's true. But even though it's kind of a make-believe story, is there something that maybe that you could relate to this? What is this trying to tell us? What's this story trying to tell us? Does anybody have any idea what this story could be trying to tell us a little bit?
Tell us that you don't need help. If you sometimes need help, and it's not and sometimes you're not helpless, but you can have sometimes you will have help and stuff.
Exactly. You have a thought on that, Miranda?
So, and since it's Joanna made me forget.
That's okay. Brianna, do you think of anything that?
Oh no.
Okay.
And since there's the elves did something for the shoemaker, they made clothes for them. So if somebody does something for you, you should do something back for them.
That's a very good idea. I hadn't even really thought about that. I was kind of more thinking of what even Joanna was saying, is that sometimes everybody needs help. And no matter who it is, you can always help somebody out, can't you? And you don't expect, did they expect anything in return?
No.
No, which is going along with you. So that was a very good thought. Yes, Brianna?
It's kind of back to Miranda. If you're really poor and you're barely getting any customers, you might not tell them, be quiet and just tell them you didn't make them. And basically, once they found out they were two little elves were making them, it's like they were being nice, show kindness. And
well, that's true. It's good to show kindness. Okay, so now what the thing is, we're going to go through the W's. And the W's is kind of the story elements. And it tries to make us remember what is most important about the story and, have better understanding of what the story is and who is in the story and all that. So the first one, who were the characters in the story? Miranda.
The wife, the shoemaker, the two elves, and the customers.
That's right, they did. You included the customers. Okay, so everybody agree with those were the customers that we see, the W's? So when did the story take place? Brianna?
Kind of near Christmas and I maybe say, I don't know, maybe fall, kind of towards there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I would say too. Did it happen yesterday, or would this have happened in the past?
Past, probably.
Probably, because do we see very many people make shoes by hand anymore?
No.
No. So this was probably something that would have been a long time ago, but you're right, it's talked about Christmas time, so that's a very good observation. Where did this story take place? Joanna?
At a shoemaker at a shoe factory.
Shoemakers, was it a factory really,
I
or
would
was it
say
a
house?
Yeah, I would say it kind of, because he says
Shoe building thing.
the shoemaker's house, I would say too, just like Brianna, because they went to bed. He left him out on his bench and then he would just go to bed. So it didn't say that he really kind of left much, just kind of went to bed. So good job. What was the problem that occurred in the deal? Miranda.
The shoemaker and his wife were poor, so they had to make enough money.
So what was they were poor. So what did he not have enough money to do?
Basically, sell shoes for.
Well,
maybe.
right, he couldn't sell them because he couldn't. What? What did they say he didn't have enough money for? Do you remember that?
Fabric or whatever.
The
it's
leather,
called.
exactly. He didn't have enough money to buy more leather. That was his last piece of it, right? Very good. Why did the problem occur? Did it ever really state that? Do you even know? Do you think it did? Did it state why the problem occurred?
I don't think so.
I don't.
Because it never said like he didn't work
Well,
hard.
he
or
was very
anything.
poor, so that maybe got them where, oh, we're in the town and you're out there,
Uh-huh.
kind of towards the country. So some people just walked over there. It's like, I could get these shoes.
Yeah, but I think that's true. It might have been where they lived at, but we don't really know why that occurred. They never told us. Did somebody come steal all this fabric? You know, never told us. Never told us why it kind of occurred. We know it occurred, but not really if that maybe there was that everybody was poor at that time. They couldn't afford to buy the shoes for a long period of time, or maybe somebody got sick in his family and he had to use the money for something else. But we didn't know that, right? So that's something we didn't know about this story. What was the resolution, or how did they solve that problem? How did the problem of not having any money get solved?
Because of the elves, they helped them, and since the people kept buying the shoes, they got enough money to take care of themselves.
Exactly. That's exactly how the problem was solved. The elves came and they made those shoes for him. And so then everybody kept buying them, and they paid so much money for them because they were so beautifully sewn, is what the story said, that they were willing to pay extra money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Good job. So what would you do if you were in a similar situation? Brianna.
I would advertise it. Like if it was back in those days.
Good idea.
I'd go and put a sign out saying, "Hey, I'm poor, and I've got some shoes where you can get some and buy some."
Well, that's a good idea. I never thought about advertising. What did you think, Miranda?
What was the question?
What would you do if you were find yourself in a similar situation? If you
I would maybe ask people for help, so they could give me ideas to how to make more money out of it.
That's true. You know, it never hurts to ask people for help. Joanna, what would you do?
I would hire some people to dance outside and have stuff and they point to it and they'd say free shoes.
But if you gave free shoes away.
No, I mean shoes for da da da.
Okay.
Or maybe $10 for
Okay, those are all good ideas about how you could solve that problem if you were in that situation.
For start, if I was him, I would do a lower price, so I'd do $10 or something. Because shoes do cost quite a bit.
Well,
Yeah.
then people
That
would
is
think
true.
it's a lip off.
But you also think, didn't he say he spent all of his money, he had no more money to buy fabric or leather? So
Yeah.
if he sold them cheaper, would he be able to buy leather back? Maybe not.
No.
So maybe he needed to charge, but an advertisement would be a good idea, and to ask people for help. You know, that's both good ideas. And to have people, signs or something to show your store would be a good idea too. So those are all very good ideas. So we did this. Why did we do this? W's. What's the W supposed to help us remember?
What
What is this supposed to do for us?
to help us think what happened in the story and everything.
Exactly.
Who are the characters or something.
Exactly. It's supposed to make us remember things in the story and make us understand it a little bit more. So you guys have done a really good job. I liked your discussions. You guys have done an amazing with me. And I think that since realistically this is our last one, we don't have to even say what are we going to do tomorrow because this is our last time together. So thank you very much.
Seriously, this is our last time?